Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Gratitude Speaks to Everybody Every Day. How about that?
Just say,
Gratitude Speaks.
by the
So
end of the year, it'll be this long
I
now.
know it'll be, yeah,
Gratitude speaks to
right.
everybody in the world and in different countries and whatever. Yeah, no.
Yeah, yeah. So, hey, a real shout
Joy?
out to you, Sean. You and Tom did a great job on the corporate webinar the other night.
Thank you.
And
Tom did
really
fantastic.
excited for everybody listening to this now that almost every day we have a corporate overview opportunity webinar live that you can jump in on 20, 25 minutes long. And like
18 and a half.
yeah, I know you were 18 and a half. I know you were really good.
Game
Yeah,
on. I'm doing
you
next
made up
week.
for the ones that go a little bit longer,
That's okay. That's okay.
but it was really good. So plan to join us. Get back to
Hey, that's
somebody.
how you grow. That's how you're going to grow your business. You got to,
Yep,
if you plug a couple
exactly.
people in every day into those, man, your business is going
Yeah,
to explode. So,
yeah. And for those of you not in the business yet, since we have this out on Facebook a lot now, it's like jump in, see what it's all about,
yeah,
and
see what we're doing.
see
When
what
you like to
we're
get
doing.
paid to be grateful.
Yeah, see the grateful behind me. Where's
Yep.
this is right there? Grateful,
Perfect. Yep. You
thankful,
got it.
and
Or
blessed. There
put
you
your
go.
hair to it. That's
I
perfect.
know. So, anyways, hey, we're glad to have you here today, and we want to have an interesting conversation that I don't know. It's built around mindset, but it's honestly is what's your purpose for sending cards? What do you feel is the reason you do it, and are you doing it for the right reasons? And I think we all have established over the years that no matter what, everyone's gonna always appreciate getting a card in the mail you
Absolutely.
know and more than anything now because of technology, like we say all the time, it's brought us closer together, but it's also separated us a lot
Right.
more.
Right.
So that physical card or even the single act cards that we send people, you're thinking about them,
Yep.
and that's what it's all about. Gratitude isn't about, I want to say, it isn't about you. I mean, because you're grateful, but when you share it, it's about them.
Right.
That makes sense? That makes sense, or did I talk in circles?
Right. No, and I think that came, we were talking, it came from that kind of Jordan statement when we were on the call Monday. What do you say when somebody says, "Oh, I've been sending cards and I haven't heard anything from anybody," and we both, then you're not sending cards for the right reason, popped in your head. And I don't think you should have an expectation that you're
Right.
going to hear from everyone. I mean, I think I just checked recently and I've sent over 40,000 cards, and most of those have been individual. It's a small percentage that you hear from, or like you shared your story that you saw the woman later and, oh my God, thank you for the card. And great, you're welcome. And then you have to go to your card catalog and go, what did I send her?
I
That's when
know.
you know you're doing it the
Yeah.
right way.
Yeah.
And even with your wider reach cards, and just like with my story with the first one I sent when I was doing mortgages, it was a happy springtime. I didn't say anything about mortgages and just hit sent, and I got eight mortgages out of that. I did that every other month, and then when I'm like, ooh, these people are at a higher rate, I could get business. And nothing,
Yeah.
nothing. You
Yeah.
know, people
Yeah.
don't want to be sold, even though we are all sold, every day, all day.
Right. Right. That's
So
exactly
doing it,
right. And yeah, and the story you told her that happens. I mean, that one was pretty extreme because she come beeline across the room. She saw me after a couple of years and told me this, and my husband just looks at me and says, "Joy, what'd you send her?"
I don't know.
I said, I don't know, so I had to go look it up. But it is so true that no matter where I go, at an event or a fundraiser, whatever, for people that I know, somebody doesn't come up to me and say something
Absolutely.
about a card. One way or the other, they say something about a card. Well, I'll tell you, last night I just had my Inspired Women Westmoreland, the group that I lead in this area, the nonprofit, and I had somebody message me on Facebook, and she says, you've sent me cards, you've talked about this, you've invited me to this. She says, I'm coming. I'm finally coming.
Okay.
Kind of thing. And it
Only
was
takes
like,
10 years of beating somebody down to finally them get it.
yeah, yeah, now someone might look like, well, you had intentions when you did that card. Yeah, the invites
Sure.
were an intentional invite. But I think I look back on her history, it's like I've been sending her cards for different
Right.
things all along with the same mindset of her,
Right.
with the same mindset of things that she was doing in her life and that type of thing. And not
This And this should all be about the person you're sending it to,
Yeah.
whether it's one at a
Yeah.
time, the keepsakes, or even your wider spread,
Yeah.
right or reach. And you're
Yeah.
right, but it doesn't mean that someone like that, especially if you've been doing promptings in the gratitude movement for a while, you have people that you've sent a lot of cards to over the years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now is the perfect time, and I started doing it first part of the year, just saying, "Hey, I know you've got my cards, and I know you get a kick out of them. I'd really love to show you what we're doing. Would it be okay to send you a video, or would it be okay to invite you to a quick webinar?" Those are the perfect because they've seen the end product and they felt that's the
Right.
biggest thing. They've got that.
They feel it.
They smiled, or they looked at the picture and they told the story of
Mm-hmm.
their picture
Mm-hmm.
that's on a card to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So when you just got to get in that mode that even for your business, when you hit send, you should not be thinking, wonder how many people are going to call me.
Oh yeah.
You're
Yeah.
thinking, I
Yeah.
hope somebody smiles today.
Yeah.
And you know what? When you just make that little switch, that's when it's going to pay you
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, I have a client that I'm kind of working with right now. They sent out a bunch of cards over the holidays.
Hmm.
And and I hadn't had a chance to see the card. They designed it themselves, they sent it, but there was something they wanted me to check, so I had the opportunity to go into their site and take a look at it. And I looked at the card and the front of it's Christmas, the back side of it had their logo and everything else on the back. It was only a flat card. And I thought and they made the comment to me. They made the comment to me like, if it, we want to make sure they're commenting about wanting the business back,
Right.
and
Which
it's
I
like
which
then
I get. I mean, I understand. It's
you
a
can get it, but that's not the whole reason
I
you
know.
want to do
I
that,
get. I get.
kind of thing. I have a big client that sends out every other month. They have an off, yeah, we choose a holiday theme or whatever, and we do it. I've had to go back. We've been doing this now for 9 months. And we're coming into a year. July will be our full year of doing this. And I had to, I mentioned to them the other day, it's like, you know what? We believe in the 80/20 rule. If you want
Right.
one of these to come out now that say something about your business,
Sure.
yeah,
Ask
then
for a
it's
referral
time.
or yeah.
It's
Yeah.
time, and you can do that, kind of thing. And it was interesting because when I helped design the one here for the spring, on the back side of it, it's a financial institution,
Mhm.
and they always have their information on the back and contact, and that was fine. But I also had the experts made up some branding forms with his name, the owner,
Sure.
whatever. And so I had put that on the back of this one particular card because the way I had them sign it on the inside is like from Brian and team,
Right.
Secure Money team and all that kind of stuff. And when they approved that card and looked at it, the first thing they said is they wanted Brian taken off the back because it's not about him. It's about all of us. It's about a
All
team.
right. Okay.
So I thought, so they've kind of got that kind of, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's not about, it's just, we're a team,
Right.
where it's not separated. So I thought that was kind of interesting too,
Yeah.
but
And let's be realistic. There are some business owners that will just never get it.
mhm.
So, um, I just want my logo. Okay. I want to put this on the inside. Yeah, okay. Uh, But I'm recommending that I know what works. But yeah, you're right. Some will. I like that they're like, well, it's not just one person; it's our whole team. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
just did that for a pool company. Like the backs were when we were talking, it's like, well, we'll have the experts set up for each individual salesperson that they're coming from, after the sale. And then he started talking about, we're going to do the acts through the sale of a pool is 6 to 8 months long.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And, I went home and I'm like, and he goes, they need the entire team through that period.
mm-hmm,
And I'm like, all right. So I sent him a text, said, hey, for the back of the card, why don't you put a picture of the team on the back of the card? And
mm-hmm,
then you could name, phone number, your name,
mm-hmm.
since you're the regional and or whatever you want to do. That way it kind of comes from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, get in that mindset, send for the right reason. Don't expect
Yeah,
anything out of it.
yeah,
And that's
yeah.
when things will come back to you.
Yeah, yeah, and I think I shared this week too, with the journaling that we have, when I can take the time if anybody can take the time, for me, it might be harder than other people might have a better feel for this. For me, it's very hard. Like first thing in the morning, sit down and do the journaling.
Hmm.
And, in the intentional part of that journaling, it's, let people come to your mind that for no reason.
Yeah.
I
And then
mean,
when you send them a card, there's a reason that you're thinking of
yeah, yeah. That has been very eye-opening for me. Instead of like thinking about who you want to send a card to,
them. Right.
or even something popping on Facebook, this is like even deeper than that. It's kind of like, oh my gosh, why am I thinking about her? Or gosh, I haven't talked to her for like years, or something like
Act on that prompting.
that's what it is. It's acting on that prompting. And and I know another big piece of it for me is doing the card right away.
What?
You know.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, just do it right away and I will tell you that by 3 hours from now, somebody else is going to be on my mind.
Absolutely.
It's like,
I had
yeah,
one a couple weeks ago. I thought somebody popped in my head. I'm like, oh, I need to send them a card, reach out. And that went on for 3 or 4 days. And then all of a sudden I get a text from her. Hey, can we Zoom? I want to get up to dated with stuff. And I'm like, what? Okay. Yeah. Listen
yeah,
to the prompting, but then act on it. So,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
because it
exactly.
is, it
But
can
do
guide
it,
you.
do it for the right reasons,
Yep.
I
Absolutely.
mean, don't do it because you're expecting to get anything back.
Right.
Just, organically, that can happen,
And
but
you
you
talk about the
can't.
journal. If you write in the journal and you're grateful and then you send a card, that's going to come through the card,
Yeah,
whether you think so or not.
right,
Our true
right.
intentions, we've talked about that before. Our true intentions come through every way we communicate.
Hmm.
Even a card you do on the website or an app and you hit send and it goes to somebody, that intention follows.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
and that is your
100%.
high level education today.
Yeah. Gosh, Sean, maybe I'll send you a card today.
Um,
I haven't sent you a card for a long time.
I know.
I
Sea salt
know. What is
caramel,
all
sea
that?
salt caramel,
Isn't
sea
it
salt
funny? Isn't
caramel.
it funny that we in the business and we think about our own, or even sometimes I say this to my kids. It's like, why am I not doing more for them? You know?
I
You know?
started sending kid cards to my
Yeah.
grandkids, and I'll continue when they move. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I do too, but do
And they
I
can't
do it
read, but
enough?
they'll end up someday, maybe reading through
People are
them.
gonna pull it up like, where did this card come from?
Right. Who the
Or
heck is that?
one of them's gonna grow up having your humor,
Oh God. Yep.
and then they're
Yep.
gonna say, that's where I got it from.
Yep.
All
Yep.
those
Yep.
cards that subconsciously couldn't
It's
read.
Papa's fault. I get in trouble at school.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, heavens to
Alrighty.
Betsy. Well, listen, hey, thanks for tuning in. Just, do the right think, have the right mindset when you send those cards out.
Yep. Absolutely.
Don't expect.
Send
Unless
out
it's
the
an
gift.
invitation, they have to RSVP,
Right. Right. Yeah.
or
Right.
something like that. But,
And
don't
you're
do
right, the 80/20 rule for businesses where, 4 out of the 5 cards should just be the gratitude touch. The fifth one could be for an ask. But I can tell you a lot of times that fifth one doesn't get you anything. But,
Yeah,
you know, but
yeah,
you got to let people know,
mhm,
businesses, so
yeah. Yep.
perfect.
Okay,
All
great.
right, my
Well,
friend.
thanks.
Have a
Thanks
great
for tuning
weekend.
in. Have a great weekend. Happy Easter.
Yeah. Happy Easter.
Yeah.
Enjoy
So
your long weekend.
take care, everybody.
Bye. Bye bye.
Bye.